Hello folks, in today's video we're going to talk about a app that's on your Android phone. It's called Starmaker, and we're going to be specific to the Supernova contest that they do. I think they do twice a year, if not at least once a year. Now this says Supernova X S4, so this is their fourth installment of Supernova. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what StarMaker is. StarMaker is a karaoke app that you download from the Google Play Store. You can play it on a tablet. I mean, it's you don't play it, you sing. It's a singing app, but there are actually games in there, gambling games and all kinds of stuff. I don't suggest using that stuff, but it's there for your entertainment. Now, I would ask you to watch the previous video to this one because I did a full review of StarMaker and then I talked about what happens in Supernova. But I want to be specific to Supernova today because the Supernova contest finished up last week. Right now, the day that I'm recording this video, it's the 15th of November, 2025. So 11/15/2025. So about a week ago, there was a person that won Supernova, and we're going to go over that in this video. What you need to know a little bit is StarMaker is an app in which you can do recordings of your voice. You can sing with songs from their library. They have a vast library of songs, one of the largest libraries of songs I've ever seen on karaoke apps. If you're a casual singer, if you're even a professional singer, it's good to have these versions because you can practice and everything, with your voice. And it helps, like, if you don't have equipment or if you're a musician and say you don't have a lot of money, whatever. This avoids having to buy all kinds of, mixing boards and all kinds of things. You can do the mixing within the app. Okay, so with that said, now you know what it is. So most of you that are watching this must know about Supernova. Supernova is a contest, again, that they have every year or twice a year. And this is Supernova 4 that just happened. So in the last video, I touched upon the cheating that goes on in this contest. And we're going to go over it right now. But I want to read you something funny here. Let me read you this introduction to Supernova. Within the app, they send out these notifications to people so you can sign up to be in the Supernova. So basically you have to record a song or have a previous recorded song within a few days to a week before it happens. Then you upload the song, and then when it goes live, they vote on singers. So you listen to two singers side by side. You listen to one song, then you listen to another, and you can hit the vote button, which one you like. Okay. I touched upon in the last video about all of the robots, the bots, the AI bots that they have on this app. The fact that they even have AI bots is a travesty in itself because people don't really know who the real people are. But after a while, when you start using StarMaker and you get to know what the bots are and how to spot them, because it'll be a bot will have no songs recorded. It'll have, it'll show that they have a whole bunch of followers and this and that, but there's nothing within, and they're not attached to a family, like on their tail light. The tail light is what's next to their name that shows, are they in so within that app, there's groups of families that you join to become a group member. Now, you don't have to do that, but they have like competitions and who's the best family of the month and this, that, and the other thing. And then there's this Supernova, okay? So let's talk about Supernova. Let me get into the introduction here. I find this quite amusing, too. So it says, Supernova is StarMaker's most influential singing competition. Fair, transparent, and powered by votes from everyone. Witness the rise of the true vocal talent. Now, this couldn't be furthest from the truth, folks. StarMaker, the app, is like, as far as the contest goes, is fully rigged for anyone to try to steal a win. Any one of you listening to this could do exactly what I'm going to explain to you. Now, I explained some of this in the last video, I suggest you watch the previous video I did about the review of Starmaker, okay? But this couldn't be more further from the truth, because most of the people, or if not all of them, that are in the top 16 or 8, even at 60, at the 64th level, that's where you see cheating going on. Now, you might say, well, how do they cheat? Because they people, like, if you have your own your own account, people have multiple accounts that they buy. There's some people that have 10, 15, 20 accounts on multiple phones, different things, okay? And you can set it up through, I think, Facebook and other ways, other means. But the thing is that what happens is people will buy coins because it's a coin-based system. Now, you don't have to buy any of these coins. You don't even have to pay for anything. You can just sing totally for free, which is awesome, okay? But you're limited to how many followers you can have if you don't pay, and if you're like level 1. I got as high as level 5 or level 6, but I never got that many followers. And say you get 1,000 followers, you probably have, in reality, maybe 100 followers out of the 1,000. All the rest of them are bots, okay? But what happens is, when it comes to competition time, because it's a money-based, contest, where you can win like $12,000 for grand prize, 4,000 for second prize, and 1,000 for third prize, that is going to bring out people cheating and doing all corrupt things on this app, okay? So what the people do is they buy their votes. They pay for coins or tickets, and then they send those tickets and gifts to their own songs, either by their own account or by other people's account. And they may have other friends that are doing it. The person may pay someone, hey, I'll give you $100 if you help me give myself votes to win the competition. That's how it works, folks. And I've been doing this for 2 years now, so I know how it goes. Okay, it says, share the coin prize pool. Massive rewards await you. Now, I came in number 55 out of 2,000 singers, okay? I was in the 64th round. I was in the top of the 64th round. I ended up finishing 55. I never bought any votes for myself. I never paid for anything. I just let it go organically, right? And look, I'm a fairly decent singer, but it's not even about how good you are, how, you might be the best singer in the world. It's who's going to pay the most for the votes. So, for instance, these people end up paying sometimes $3, $4, $5, $6,000 to pay for their own votes to win the $12,000 prize. And you might say, oh, that's a bargain, and it is. If you're going to spend $6,000 and win 12, you won 6,000. You didn't win 12, you won 6, because you got half your money back, right? But people that do that, they take a chance on losing their money. And some of the people that I'm going to show you actually got in the mix of that, because if you're not in the top 3, you can't even recover any of the money that you're spending. So it's ridiculous, right? These are not organic votes. These are not votes from bots either. The bots don't vote. Starmaker wants to make money. This is how they make their money. They have people buy coins. They pay for coins, and the coins can be used for various things, for the gambling apps, that games within the app. Okay, so it says, share the coin prize pool. Massive rewards await you. And I came in 55. I got it. I'll show you the notification I got later that said I won 100,000 coins, but they never gave me the 100,000, because when I went to retake it and get the reward, it gave me like 50 coins or something. So that was a lie. It says, vote to win big. Vote daily for a chance to win 999 gifts, right? These stars can be used for things, okay? Compete for $12,000, right? Okay, let me move on here and show you some things. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this. This is one of the messages I got when I made it through the top 200 to get down to 64. And then it told me, congratulations, you have ranked number 55 and successfully advanced to the 64 to 16th stage. right? Now, when it gets to this part, when it gets to the point of it gets to the 64th round, this is when whoever's in that round ends up cheating. And a lot of these people are repeat singers from the year before. In other words, they're in the competition and they do the same thing. It was funny because I thought this Chelsea Zoe person was going to win because she looked, I mean, she absolutely was cheating. All of the people in the top 8 for sure were paying for their own votes. I mean, it was amazing. All right, let me show you some more here. Okay, I took a lot of screenshots through the process of this, and I'm just going to show you some. I can't go over all of them, but this is when I was at the 64th round trying to get to the 16th round, okay? So it goes from 64 down to 16, down to 8, down to 4, and then there's 3 that compete for the main prize and the third prize and all of that, right? So this girl, her name was Chell, and she also cheated, by the way, too. She had 457 votes. Look at that. 105%. Mine says 100%. Mine were organic votes because, and I'll tell you why. Because in my family, there's less than 300 people in my family. And most of the family, half of the family members, or most of them, voted for me because they like the way I sang. Now, by the way, I'm not saying I'm the greatest singer, anything like that. I'm not upset and I'm not mad that I didn't win. I knew I wasn't going to win because from the previous Supernova competitions, I knew that they were cheating. I entered it kind of as a joke, but I wanted to see how the process went. I didn't even think I was going to make it to 64. Now, up to the point of getting to 64, that may have been legit, but when it got down to 64 and then into 16, that's when all of these people start paying for their own votes, okay? So this girl, Chell, she was absolutely paying for her votes, okay? And if you go into her account and you look at her songs, some of her songs don't even have 200 or 300, likes or anything like that. So it's crazy the amount of cheating that goes on. All right, let me move on here. Oh, I wanted to show you this. I told you about the coins, right? It says congratulations on reaching 10 appreciation points. You can get the share of 100,000 coins. I never got 100,000 coins. I got like 50 coins. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, by the way, to grasp on how much money that Starmaker is actually making. So let's say you wanted to buy some coins. About 1,500 coins cost you $20. So close to 3,000. Usually when you buy something like 3,000 coins, they throw in like another 500 for you. So 3,500 coins for like $50. So what's 100,000 coins? You're talking a lot of money, folks. Like almost $500 it would cost you to get 100,000 coins. Now the coins mean nothing, with the exception of when they're given as gifts to you. You can then take the diamonds that come in because they convert to diamonds, and then you can take the diamonds and convert them into coins. You could technically get paid, but it's so little money because what it is Starmaker will take 95% of that and you'll only make 5%. You'd have to be singing for 10 years to make like a couple of $1,000s. I mean, it's ridiculous. All right, let's move on. Okay, I showed this person in the last video, but I want to show her again, okay? This is a girl. She goes by the name of Sassy, and she's in the Glee Club. That's her Glee Club family, okay? She's paired up with someone there. I don't know if that's her boyfriend or whatever, but she was a massive cheater. She won Supernova 3. So last year's Supernova, I was surprised that she was not in this year's, but she's friends with the girl Chell, who I lost to in the 64th round, Chell cheated. And it's like these people all like stick together like glue. I think what's happening is they're probably talking to each other and getting in cahoots with each other and saying, hey, listen, if you help me send me votes, I'll split some of the profit with you if we win. You know what I mean? So there's massive cheating going on. And this is the girl Chell, and you can see here, Chell and that thing in the middle with the person that looks like they have their arms like they're making a muscle, that's called a buddy. In other words, they're level 4 buddies, Chell and Sassy. Chell did not win the competition. She didn't even come in third, but she did cheat and she did pay for her own votes, just to let you know, because I watched it all the way through. Okay, so I want to show you a list of the when it went from the top 16 down to 8. Now the 16 people doesn't the last 8 from the 16 doesn't really matter, although they probably were cheating too. But definitely the top 8 absolute cheaters. This girl here, Chelsea Zoe, massive cheater. Massive cheater. And she did not win the competition. You're going to be surprised at who won this. Okay, let me just go down the list here. But see this? 196,876 votes. There is absolutely no way that, I mean, and especially, let me explain something else to put it into perspective. If you think that it's possible that they can get these votes, like organically, they can't. This is regional. There's 4 or 5 regions within Starmaker. So if you live on the other side of the world, say you're in Russia or something, you may be in region 1 or region 3 or whatever it is. I was in region 2, I believe, which is these people here. So each region gets to be their own winner of Starmaker. This isn't like one competition for the whole world. One, okay, it's split up into 4 or 5 competitions. Okay, so she was absolute cheating. There's no way she got organically 196,000 votes because there isn't enough people on Starmaker. This is why they use bots. Okay, this was Thor Dulé. Now, and by the way, I not because these are cheaters, but I'm just pointing out I did not like Chelsea Zoe's voice. She doesn't. Some people might think she has a great voice. She doesn't. She's not a professional singer. She's just a karaoke singer. Everyone is here. Thor Dulé, I have to say I'm going to give him credit for his voice. He did a really good job on the song Forever by Kenny Loggins, okay? But he was an absolute cheater too. And I guess he thought he was going to win, and he didn't win, by the way. He overtook Chelsea Zoe in the preliminary votes, like, and we all thought he was going to win. I think he did come in second or third. Uh, Here's Tall Chai Lati, or Tall Kai Lati. She's an absolute cheater too. She cheated. All of these people with these high vote counts, these are the people that cheated. By the way, I'll just let you know, this person here, Copey or Cope 3, this person won the competition. Now, I will say they did a really good version of Billie Jean. The person kind of sounded like Michael Jackson, but wasn't perfect. It wasn't great. But this person cheated, and this person ended up winning the competition, believe it or not. Here was Chell. That was the girl that I was up against, and she was cheating too. But I think what ends up happening is that at some point, some of these people just don't want to keep spending money, so they back off. Like, say you know, because you in order to win this, in order to win by cheating, you have to spend a couple of $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to win it. It's not like you don't just spend a few hundred or 1,000 and win the 12,000. You got to be spending a lot of money, and then they'll allow you to win. And you might say, well, why doesn't StarMaker stop these people from cheating? It's because they're making the money. They don't care. They want the money coming in. They don't mind if you're going to pull in, say, $5 million, $10 million, whatever it is, and you're only going to pay out $12,000. That's a bargain. So they don't really care. Let me show you the other competitors here. Okay, so I found a list that I screenshotted from the top 16 or whatever, and you already saw the past 5 or 6, whatever. So this is 7: Boisterous, the Phantom TCB. Number 9 is Hershey, Canadian, Filipino, whatever. QR Co-Captain TM, Anna, Bell 88, Dark Knight, HHF, Moomy, and Yummy is number 16. Okay, all of those people, they never lasted the rounds. They got kicked out, because it goes down to 8 and then down to 4. Okay, so then when it came to like the final couple of days, it says who is the champion, right? And it says a cash prize of 12,000 is up for grabs. Let's see who becomes this season's champion. So what it really comes down to is how much money that these people are willing to spend on themselves to pay for their own votes, to buy the coins and the tickets that you have to send yourself in order to win. It's really sad. So it's crazy because Chelsea Zoe at this point was in the lead by 95,101 against Kopi 92. Okay. So then this was, a few hours later, or whatever. And so right here, at this point, it said 99,249. This girl, Chelsea, she spent a hell load of money on this app. And so did this guy, Kopi 3. So I'm thinking, how the hell does he overtake her from 92,000? He's 8,000 coins or votes away. How do you overcome someone like that? I mean, even with that said, that right there is absolute cheating, because you don't just overcome. So let me show you the other screenshots. Okay, it's important to note, up top here, you see that where it says 58:24? So there was 1 hour, almost an hour and a half to go, right? Because 59 minutes or 60 minutes is an hour. So almost an hour and a half to go, right? This is the votes. Note the votes here. 99,249 to 92,698. Want to see who the winner was? An hour later? Look. And the winner is the cheater, Kopi, champion. Look at that. How did that person get 8,000 votes within 1 hour, right? It's obvious that they cheated. Now look at Chelsea Zoe got the runner-up, so she got the $4,000, right? And Thor Dulé, who cheated too, he got third place. So the only money people are the top 3 people in the competition. Kopi 3, Chelsea Zoe, and Thor Dulé. All of these cheated. So it basically came down to a war of fighting on who wanted to win the $12,000. And of course, you get the prestige of being the champion of Supernova, but why would you want to have a title like that knowing that you cheated? And I called each of these people out, especially these 3. I posted in their messages that they were cheaters because they needed to be called out, and they didn't like that. A couple of them, or one of them, said, "Oh, we got to get this guy banned," and blah blah blah, whatever. But the thing is who should be banned is them. The people who are cheating. It's not fair to the rest of the community who's on here. There's 10,000 more better singers than these people. Now, I'll say this: they were fairly okay. Except I don't like Chelsea Zoe's voice. She didn't turn me on at all. Like and the song choices were terrible. But like Thor Dulé did have a good voice, and Kopi, but they weren't. I mean, are you kidding me? They're the greatest at Starmaker. I know there's one girl on this app besides my girlfriend who's really great. I mean, she's my favorite singer. But one of the professional singers on here that's amazing. Her name is, let me think of her name real quick. Nicole, I can't remember her full name. But anyways, this girl that I know on here, she was on American Idol back in, the mid 2000s or late 2000s, like 2010. or 2007, something like that. And she's amazing. Now, she doesn't, I don't think she enters the Supernova contest, but she absolutely could win that hands down. These people who win this very rarely have a quality voice that's so good that, oh, they should be on television. It's not about that, folks. Remember, this is a karaoke app when it comes down to it, right? But the point of it is, shame on Starmaker, because if any one of you are listening to this from Starmaker and you're from headquarters, or you run the app, or you're one of the administrators, shame on your company for allowing the cheating that goes on in this app. It's not fair. There's not fair votes. It's all about the money. And I don't even think they should have any contests because it's ridiculous. And a lot of these people, if you look into them, they are what's called coin sellers. Now, I didn't look into these three specific, but there's a lot of coin sellers who sell coins at a discount, and they get kickbacks for selling the coins, okay? So it may be little bits of change, but if a lot of people, buy coins, and they may be getting a few dollars a day from, several people, after a month of that, each month, they're raking in some money. So I think what's happening is Star Makers throwing kickbacks to these people, because the real people who have awesome, incredible voices are not winning the competition. That's how I know that it's rigged too. I mean, there was far better singers than these people. Even the people in the top 16, in the top 64, were better than these three people that finished in the top three. But so and by the way, you might say, well, how do you know they're cheating? How can you tell? Because you look in their songs and you can see that they sent their selves the gifts, the tickets to win. And all they got to do is sit there and just keep, you buy a whole bunch of coins, and you just keep hitting gift, 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 gift. You just gift yourself all those gifts. But I mean, it takes a lot to do it, because you have to stay there all day sending yourself gifts. But this is how they're doing it, folks. They're cheating just massively. So just taking another look here at the top seven people here. Kopi won, big time cheater. But what's funny though is, I'm glad, even though this person cheated, I'm glad they beat out Chelsea Zoe, because Chelsea Zoe thought she was going to actually win the thing, and she ended up coming in second. And what's funny is, there was 8,000 votes. You saw it. I showed you. There was 1 hour left. How did he get 8,000 votes over her? She thought she was going to win. And Thor Dulé was in first place at I think at one point, or second place, and he ended up getting third. And then all of these people that are in the top seven, I mean, top eight, they're all cheaters. Chell was a cheater. Tall Chai was a cheater. Ziggy, Boisterous, they were all cheaters. They all paid for the votes. But at some point, they backed off and stopped. They realized, I don't want to keep spending money. And the one that, some of these people have some money. So they didn't care. Even if the person spent the money just to get the title, they don't care. They may have $12,000 to burn. You know what I mean? Just to win it. I wouldn't want to win a competition like that. It's ridiculous. Okay, folks. So in closing here, I just wanted to say, beware of Starmaker as far as the Supernova competition. Know that when you join that, you do not have a chance in hell to win that unless you're going to spend money to buy the votes, or pay your friends to give you votes, or whatever. Because organically, there isn't enough people on that app to even vote. And most people don't even care about the competition. And then once people find out, and that the people are cheating, most people don't even enter that contest. The only reason I even entered it was sort of out of like, what the hell, I'll just enter it, see what happens. I was shocked I even got down to number 55. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I'm a fairly decent singer. I have a good voice, but I'm not the best. But I know that I should have gone into at least the top 8 or top 4 or whatever vocally, because I know what I'm capable of doing. Now, that you might say, oh, well, that's being what's that word when you think you're full of yourself. I'm not full of myself, folks. I just know what I'm capable of doing. I know I have a solid voice. I know when I'm singing in front of people, I get great reactions. People tell me I have a good voice. But, and I've been a musician my whole life, so I've been around music. But I'm also an objective person that can listen to someone's voice, sort of like Simon Cowell does on America's Got Talent, and know who's good and who should be on a show and who's not. None of these people that got into even the top 5 or 6 or 10 don't even have good enough voices to even go on a show like that. You know what I mean? That's why it's another joke. It's such a joke, you know. So beware of the app. Now I'll say one last thing about the great part of Starmaker. It has a great library of songs. You can sing live. It has chat abilities where you can sit in rooms and chat with people and make lots of friends. I mean, I've made so many friends on here, which is great. But all the friends that I have, they know that the cheating goes on. Once you become a veteran of the app, you know, and you get to know the whole thing, you get to understand. And if you're new to this and you're a beginner, you may be kind of laughing and think it's funny, and you might even think, "Oh, there's no way anyone's cheating. It's got to be fair." It's not. You'll see if you get deeper into the app and meet friends and talk to people. You'll know how it goes, and you'll remember this video that you saw. But and one final note, Starmaker, you should be ashamed of yourself for allowing all of this cheating going on. Yes, I understand you need to make money and whatever, but do you have to do it that way? Do you have to allow people to like just pay for their own votes? I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. And I'm calling you out. I'm exposing you, Starmaker. Remember that. Stand by. In the future, I may have some other videos, but I definitely had to make these videos and updated videos because I haven't seen many videos on YouTube talking about Supernova. So just know that the contest is rigged. You have almost zero chance of winning it. And do you want to take a chance and spend all your money just to win a stupid contest that means nothing? Because none of the people on here, you're not going to get any prestige. Like, you're not on television. This is just an app. This is just people who control an app and designed an app, a singing app. It's a really good singing app, I have to admit. And even using the free features, definitely great. But on the contest level, it's a fraud. Supernova is a fraud, folks. Anyways, thanks for listening. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.